Good morning. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Is your mind always going and you find you can't shut it off and it's affecting your life? Did you know that stress is the number one cause of most health issues today? Like Louise Hayes says, disease is dis-ease in our body. Hi, I'm Miss Chrissy D, and I'm with the P&K Files.
And I'm Darlene Turner with Victim to Victory.
We value your time, so this is going to be really short, sweet, and informative. We're going to give you 3 tools today to assist you in calming your nervous system, which is the basis of your well-being. Darlene and I have had a lifetime of experience living in overwhelm, in highly stressful situations, everything from abuse to bankruptcy. So we know the importance of a calm nervous system.
And it's important to have a calm nervous system. Why is it important to have a calm nervous system? Because when our nervous system is on overwhelm and we're on fight or flight, our organs actually shut down and our adrenals release adrenaline. And this is a chemical that runs through our body so that we're ready for fight or flight. And when that happens, our cells are not able to rejuvenate and restore to healthy cells. Our digestion slows down. Our breathing almost stops to a real shallow breath. So it really affects our whole body when we're in a state of overwhelm or fight or flight.
Yeah. So, what are some quick things that we can do to help calm our nervous system? What's the first
Well,
thing?
the first thing that I highly recommend to share with you is about breathing and to take note of our breath throughout the day. Are we breathing really shallow? Are we hardly expanding our lungs? And that's usually the state when we're in that overwhelm or fight or flight. So if we can just stop and take a moment right now and just see where our breath is. Is it, for me, it's like, okay, I think I need a breath. A little shallow breathing going on here. So how about we just do 3 breaths together just to help familiarize how this is going to go for you when you're in overwhelm or in a stressful situation.
I think that's great. I find
Go ahead.
I, I it sounds really simple, but I actually find throughout the day, if I'm in a stressful situation, overwhelmed, I actually stop and go, "Oh, I don't remember the last time I took a breath." And I realize how tense I am. So it sounds simple. We automatically breathe. We actually don't automatically do it all the time. Not enough.
Yeah. And so when we actually do this breath, it actually brings everything into a stop, because normally in a day our mind is thinking, oh, 10 steps ahead, or this afternoon, or whatever, or we're thinking about in the past, oh, I shouldn't have said this, or I should have done that, or or whatever may be going on. So when we actually stop and do this breathing work, it brings us right here, right now, which slows down time a little bit, and it kind of get off that hamster wheel of go, go, go. So that's another reason why it's so important to breathe, as well as bringing in some good oxygen for our brain and for our body to properly function, so that we can sort of hit a reset, I guess is the best word that I can say. And we can do this throughout the day, and it hit reset throughout the day so that we're actually just coming down into the moment and taking a breath. And it's highly effective. So if you all want to just practice this one with me, and we'll just, like I said, just shut your eyes and maybe put your hands on your heart, your lungs, and just take in a nice deep breath so that you feel your lungs just expanding all the way out. And you'll feel your shoulders kind of drop back and your chest kind of come out. And then just hold it at the top of that breath for a second or two. And then just breathe out through your mouth and just release it like you're letting all that tension go. You can make a sound with your mouth or whatever, just like a diffusing. Then we're going to do this again. A nice deep breath in, expanding, holding at the top, and then releasing it out through your mouth and letting everything just release and drop down. And one more time, in, hold at the top, and then release. How does that
Oh, that
feel now?
feels good.
I feel a lot calmer, a lot more in my body, and a lot more grounded. And so when I'm encouraging you to do this, is to actually do more than 3 breaths. Take a minute or two and just keep following that breath in and out and in and out. And when the mind gets in there, says, well, we got to go do this, we got to do that, and just not judging it or engaging in it, but just following back to the breath and breathing in, because this is going to help everything hit a reset. I think
Awesome.
you had a little tip that you do in the daytime for taking a break sometimes too, you know, of stopping and breathing. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, actually part of our third tip.
Yeah.
I do well, I won't get ahead of ourselves here. Go ahead with the second tip, and then I'll share it.
All right. Well, the second tip is about grounding. So when we're in chaos or up in our mind, it creates this buzzy busyness where we're actually almost floating and not being grounded to the ground. So when we can ground, it actually brings everything down into the body and grounds us so that we're not out there in that fight or flight or overwhelm or chaos. So an easy tip for this one is to actually take your shoes off and step on the grass and connect to the earth and just feel the energy or the breath, even if you do your breath and coming up through your feet and up through your body so that you're connecting and grounding. There's a movie on YouTube if you want a little more information on grounding, because there's actually scientific proof that it works, and it calms the body, calms the nervous system. Another little tip with the grounding is to connect to a tree, because trees actually recycle our stuff. They recycle our breath, they recycle a lot of our stuff. So being able to connect and lean against a tree, if you even have body pain or stress, just recycling that breath and the tree will help take that or receive that energy from
Right.
you.
And for those people out there that are like me, that might sometimes seem pretty woo-woo and pretty out there, but I really encourage people to try it, because those kind of things really do help. I was always a little bit skeptical before of things like that, but I find them a huge help. So what's our third tip?
Sorry, I got a truck going on behind me. So my third tip is about limiting stimulants in your day. So when we drink coffee or sugars or energy drinks, that tends to make us more stressed or agitated or have anxiety, jitters, and that type of stuff. So when we can limit it a little bit, how much coffee and things, suggestion I do is I went to half and half coffee in the morning and I only have 1 cup. And so throughout the day, maybe substituting for herbal teas or just something that supplies the body with, that's a calming effect on it.
I used to find that when I'm at work, I run out in the afternoon because I have a pretty high stress job and it takes a lot of energy. So I get really tired and I'm really stressed, and we all run out for that afternoon coffee. And what I do now instead is I actually sit in my chair. I tell my coworkers I'm taking a break, and I shut my eyes and I actually do my breath. I calm myself down. I actually take a 10 or 15-minute cat nap. And then the night before, I always make a big thing of green tea with lemon and stevia, and I drink that cold throughout the day now instead of the afternoons of having coffee. And it makes a huge difference.
I switched to holy basil tea is a really good one, and chamomile are two that really just help support that nervous system to calm down. So there's a couple tips of herbal teas or things to do that support the body instead of adding to the stimulation, because sometimes that's what we think. Oh, we got to keep going. I need another cup of coffee, or I need a
Yeah.
chocolates, or whatever. And instead of, like you said, just taking that break to shut your eyes and give your body that break, or, you know, doing that breath work we talked about, or having that nice cup of tea, and actually, instead of drinking your tea on the run, to actually sit and enjoy a cup of tea.
Oh, makes a
So
huge difference. Okay, so there's our 3 tips.
there's our 3 tips. So let me just do a little review. The first one is your breath. You're going to start just paying attention to your breath through the day, taking, say, 4 or 5 times throughout a day to stop and connect to the breath for a few minutes, and just stopping instead of going into one thing into another, just to stop, take a breath, slow time down, come into the now moment, shut the mind off for a minute. And then the second one was grounding, connecting to the earth, sitting on the ground, leaning against a tree, getting in nature. And then the third one is to limit the stimulants, caffeine and that, and to substitute with herbal teas, which is going to help bring that calming effect in.
Very good. So we said we were going to keep this short and sweet. So remember to practice these 3 tips throughout the week, and then come and see us again next week, same time, 10 o'clock. And we will give you 3 more tips on how to get out of overwhelm and create a strong foundation of well-being. I'm Miss Chrissy D. Come and visit me and see my hero story at misschrissyd.com and get your pink on.
And I'm Darlene Turner, and I have a website or landing page. It's victimtovictory.life/learn more, and there I have my story as well. And if you would like a free PDF, it is Darlene and Michael Turner at gmail.com, and I have a free PDF on helps calm the nervous system, so there'll be some more tips on there. And we look forward to seeing you next Sunday at 10 o'clock. Bye for now.